From a young age, Beyonce Knowles was shy and timid. One of her worst insecurities was her unusually large ears. Her attempts at covering them failed, and kids would often poke fun at her by putting two pillows against their heads and running around like Dumbo. It wasn't until she stepped on a stage and let the world hear her voice that people knew she was something special. Fast forward to 2019, Beyonce is far from the ugly duckling in class. She's sold 100 million albums worldwide, becoming one of the most popular artists in music history. Releasing 5 albums with Destiny's Child and moving into an amazing solo career, Beyonce is no doubt one of pop music's most prolific artists. Her marriage to Jay-Z is equally as iconic. While the entire world knows all about Beyonce's wins, not a lot of people know the long, exhausting, and downright painful path she took to get to where she is today. It's one filled with heartache, family issues, depression, and worst of all, a close call involving R. Kelly. So for all of those who have loved Beyonce from day one, just starting to fall in love with her now, or you just wanted to know more about her lavish lifestyle, mansions all over the world, and the unknown details about her rise to fame, well, here we go. Beyonce Giselle Knowles was born on September 4th, 1981 in Houston, Texas. She and younger sister Solange were raised by parents Tina and Matthew. While Matthew worked as a sales manager for Xerox, Tina owned her own hair salon. In fact, one of Beyonce's first jobs was sweeping up hair from the salon floor. During this time, Beyonce was exposed to the music of Anita Baker and Luther Vandross. Some of Beyonce's earliest audience members were Tina's customers who would watch Beyonce sing while getting their hair done. The Knowles family lived in Riverside Terrace area of Houston's 3rd Ward. Beyonce recalls having a fun and adventurous childhood. While she was shy around strangers, she remained extra close with her family. The Knowles family apparently attended a St. John United Methodist church every Sunday in that same area. While Beyonce certainly doesn't flaunt any of her religious beliefs, she credits God as the reason for her success. She stated, "I feel like God has given me every gift I have, every blessing that I have, and I feel like He put certain people in my life for a reason, certain angels, certain people protecting me, things that happen to everyone. There's no way you can not believe that someone's looking out for you. He takes certain people out of my life that shouldn't be there, and I just feel protected all the time." As a young girl, she fell in love with the music of several prominent artists. This list includes the likes of Tina Turner, Diana Ross, Whitney Houston, but most importantly, Michael Jackson. His music actually holds sentimental value to the singer, as Michael was the first concert she ever attended. Beyonce attended St. Mary's Montessori School on Rosedale Street. It was here she enrolled in dance and singing classes. Here, her instructor Darlette Johnson discovered her incredible singing ability after humming the melody to a song. When Beyonce was able to finish it with high-pitched notes, she knew the girl had something. She apparently told the child that she would one day run the world. Darlette would teach Beyonce dance as part of her class at her own studio. She said that Beyonce would dance so hard sometimes that her costume pieces would fall off. It was here she developed her alter ego Sasha Fierce. Rumors of Beyonce's musical talent followed her all the way into elementary school. Envious students would sometimes bully and tease the singer due to her apparent skills. Her performance at the school's talent show definitely put salt on that wound. Hitting the stage to sing a rendition of John Lennon's Imagine, Beyonce floored an audience that included her parents. She took home the school's Sammy Award, named after the great Sammy Davis Jr. Throughout her early years, Beyonce won between 30 to 40 talent competitions. She was finally coming out of her shell. Attending Parker Elementary, a music school on Houston's Atwell Drive, Beyonce met Kelly Rowland, who had just moved to H-Town from Atlanta, Georgia. Kelly came from a dysfunctional household. Her mom had taken her to Texas to escape the abuse they were suffering at the hands of her father. Around 1995, Kelly moved in with the Knowles family, and Tina and Matthew signed on as her legal guardians. Speaking on the importance of family in her life, Beyonce stated, "I do think family is really, really important. I grew up with both my parents and my sister and my cousins and Kelly. All the girls. There was a lot of love in the house, so I want the same thing." Kelly was also a talented singer. Joined by their friend Latavia Robinson, the trio would audition to sing as part of a girls group. Mixed in with 3 other girls named Nina, Nikki, and Ashley, these 6 young singers would form Girls Time. And brace yourselves, you seriously can't watch one video or see a picture of the group performing without having an instant 90s flashback. Girls Time would perform in various shows and competitions around the Houston area, eventually making it all the way to Star Search. Star Search was a huge platform for up-and-coming talent at the time. Winning the competition would mean international stardom for artists, and Girls Time, well, they lost. This failure turned out to be a devastating blow to the group. Beyonce took it especially hard. Looking back on the loss, she stated, "In my mind, we would perform on Star Search, we would win, we would get the record deal, and that was my dream at the time. There's no way in the world I would have ever imagined losing as a possibility. I was only 9 years old. At the time, you don't realize that you can work super hard, give everything you have to lose. It was the best message for me." Shortly after, Matthew Knowles decided that he would step up to the plate as the group's manager. This meant that he would have to quit his job at Xerox and devote his life to fighting for Girls' Time success. One of his first orders of business was cutting Nina, Nikki, and Ashley and recruiting only LaToya Luckett as a replacement. The four girls would hone their song and dance skills while performing as a quartet in various backyard locations. The girls even found an audience at Tina's salon. Singing for customers as they got their hair done, some were generous enough to give them tips. Girls' Time tried out several different names throughout the course of its existence. These included Something Fresh, The Dolls, Cliché, and finally, Destiny. As the girls continued practicing together as well as taking singing lessons, the Knowles family was suffering financially. Because of Matthew's dedication to Beyonce and Kelly's group, Tina's job at Headliner Salon was the only source of income they had. Tension between the couple reached its final peak, and the two were forced to separate. Beyonce would go on to attend Kinder High School for the Performing and Visual Arts and later graduated from Alief Elsick, a public high school in Houston's southwest region. Beyonce and the rest of Destiny found themselves in front of label heads at Elektra Records, where they signed their first record deal. Before they could drop an album, the label released them. Things were starting to look up in 1995 when they were signed by Grassroots Entertainment. They later signed a contract with Columbia Records, where they a year later began recording their first album. Oh, but there was one other thing. The group decided to do one final name change. Inspired from a Bible passage by the book of Isaiah, what was once simply Destiny turned into Destiny's Child. Destiny's Child's first major release was Killing Time. The track was featured on the soundtrack for the film Men in Black. The success of this Will Smith blockbuster and its soundtrack was good news to the Houston group, as it gave the world more exposure to their talent. This led to the release of their debut album, creatively titled Destiny's Child, which was released on Columbia in 1998. The record features hit singles including No No No, which made it to the #1 on the US Hot R&B Hip Hop Billboards charts. Destiny's Child dropped their second album titled The Writings on the Wall in 1999. Featuring the smash Say My Name, it was received favorably. But there was a rumbling happening from within the group that would turn out to have quite the lasting effect. LaToya and Latavia were unhappy with the management and overall place in their group. They were subsequently replaced by Michelle Williams and Farrah Franklin. While Farrah Franklin only stayed with the group for about 6 months, Michelle stayed. This made Destiny's Child a trio, one to be reckoned with. But the toll that LaToya and Latavia's departure took on Beyonce was a lot to bear. Beyonce felt a large amount of guilt on her end, believing that LaToya and Latavia's situation was her fault. To add to the pressure, Beyonce had been labeled a diva in the press and soon became vilified. There were times where she wasn't even able to get out of bed. To fire back at the media haters, Beyonce and Destiny's Child put together their third album titled Survivor. The album debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. Its titular single, Survivor, was an instant classic, letting the industry as well as other onlookers know that Destiny's Child was still there. Of course, more success would follow not just the group, but as a solo artist. She brought us hits including Drunken Love, Baby Boy, Deja Vu, Irreplaceable, Single Ladies, Run the World, Halo, and Crazy in Love, and has sold out shows across the globe. She even sang at Obama's inauguration and as well at the Super Bowl. Her success landed her the roles on the big screen in films like Austin Powers Goldmember, The Pink Panther, Dreamgirls, and even the role of Nala in the live-action Lion King movie. Of course, I don't need to be the one to tell you this, but clearly, the girl's set for life. Thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and leave a comment for who you'd like for us to feature next. Catch you on the flippity flip. Stay safe, everyone.